it sound like it's going? Let's see now. It does sound like it's going. PodTrack is moving up and down. Streamlabs is Streamlabs moving side to side. Look at that. Streamlabs is moving side to side. Good Lord. Now, what we didn't do yet was we didn't do the butt. Got to do the butt. And let's click the butt. Bong. The butt has been clicked. The butt has been clicked. Welcome to KGXTradio.com. This is Off the Record with the General. We talk about conspiracies, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and how aliens ate your mother-in-law. You didn't report it because you were happy about it, and everybody moved on with life, and nobody cared. True story. Or true, it's a story. All right. Gen X Mom, can we hear your lovely voice to make sure you're here?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Off the Record.
Oh, my God. She's here. Okay. So how this works, just so you guys know, you dial in. I have the Gen X Talks cell phone sitting next to me. Everybody out there in Radio Land, 805-460-5603. What you do is you text. Just don't text me a book. I don't need all 10 paragraphs. Just give me a topic. If it's interesting, we're going to call you back on the same number you texted me. And this can be anything. We'll talk about conspiracies. We'll talk about Bigfoot. We'll talk about anything you want. And I already know what one of the main topics is for tonight, but I'll let you guys bring it up. Yes, I will talk. If you guys text me like something right now and you say, I want to talk about it, we'll put you on the air, give you a few minutes, and we'll move some things around the board. But Off the Record is a relatively new show. Yes, Danny H., before you start texting me, I actually pressed record tonight, so I did the job. It is recording, and it's a relatively new show. We kind of go in the tracks of the footsteps of Art Bell, George Norrie, letting you guys just tell us if you got a ghost story, you got something you want to share, something paranormal. We can get into that, and I think the longer this show goes on, the deeper everyone's going to get into things. I think sometimes, because I used to listen to Art Bell back in the day, I used to listen to George Norrie back in the day on their respective radio stations, and they would get into topics sometimes that lasted 2 or 3 hours and then 2 or 3 shows. They'd go really deep, and they had experts call in. I doubt that we have any experts calling in tonight. We got a bunch of perts calling in tonight, but no experts, no used to be perts, just regular perts like you and me. So what we'll do is you guys write down the number, 805-460-5603, and I'll start reading some stuff. Gen X Mom, you ready? You good to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the phone right now for those of you out there, KGXTradio.com. This is going to become an exclusive for you guys. It won't be on YouTube forever. One day we're going to lean over and go exclusively on the radio, and you're going to have to listen to it there. True story.
Are you sure you're not on the PC mic? Just verifying.
It looks like I'm on the regular. Let me look again. I will try to tell you. It sounds like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Let me look. Let me double check.
Okay. Unless you're leaning away from it, maybe. Just want to get going.
On the radio, we're for sure on the right spot. It looks like.
Okay, then leave it for the radio.
Yeah, if you guys want to listen better, listen to the radio. KGX. You know what? It does. You know, talking to your mic.
Hey, everyone.
Tap on it.
I sound great, they said.
Well, how could I not sound great? I should sound where I'm supposed to be. It only goes through one thing. So, yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's continue as long as it's good on the radio.
I'm going to try one more thing here. Try one more thing. Stand by. Don't. I do this. I did do the microphone check before we started. Okay, now we should be good again. I clicked on it when Danny was talking, and I shouldn't have. All right, so now we're back.
Yep, staff's good.
Okay, so if we're all good, let's go back to KGXTradio.com. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to go to... Let's go to the phones. Let me see what's on. Let's go to the text messages first and see who's got something to talk about tonight. And I'm assuming if you typed in... dude just sent in a picture of a book or a Bible. I don't even know what that means. I'm not calling dude and asking him what his picture is. Let's see what the guy says. Forgot to message last week. I'm Rob, and I had a sleepwalking story from when I was 11. Didn't we hear that sleepwalking story?
Not from him.
Not from him?
No, not from him.
How do you keep track of who said what? I can't.
I don't know, but it
All
wasn't
right,
him.
Let's go back. Let's see what else we got.
I believe you're recording, right?
Yeah, the recording is going. I can see the numbers counting up there. We have 4 hours of recording. We're on 5:13. We're moving. Now, see, someone with the initials BA sent me a big paragraph.
BA? Like BA Baracus?
Yeah, only it's not. It's not BA, but it's
Oh.
initials BA.
Good pull, Gen X Mom.
Really good pull. That's a very good pull. Nice pull, Gen X Mom. Sorry, little person BA, but I wasn't properly motivated to read your story. We can get back to you.
See that? You faded because you went down.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to stay right in front of the goddamn microphone. Let's see. Here's another one from Fire Woo Dart about his mother and a couple of ghost stories. Now, you sent me Fire Woo Dart. You sent me a phone number. Am I supposed to call your mother to ask her the ghost stories? And I'm just asking because you didn't really say. Oh, it does say Mama Dart has Mama Dart has her phone in hand. It's a ghost story from a long time ago. That means she's older than Mama Dart. She was pregnant. It says maybe it's the 1890s because then she's really old. She's Sun Valley Fox old. All right, let's get my headphones on. We'll give Mama Dart a call and we'll get her permission to put her voice on the air, and then we'll see what she has to say. Let me tune up my microphone right here where I can hear. Let me make sure I got all my stuff in order. Yeah, it looks like my stuff's good there. All right. So let's do that. Let's give Mama Dart a call and see what her ghost story is. Fire Woo Dart's mom. Let's make sure this goes, and it needs to go. All right. There it is. It's ringing.
Hello.
Well, hello. This is the General from Gen X Talks, KGXT Radio. Do I have permission to put your voice on the air?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with someone called Fire Woo Dart.
Absolutely, I am.
And
in the other room.
Oh, he is? Okay, so you guys are close by. Well, he suggested that you might have a ghost story to tell from way back in the day, and I'd love to hear it if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Would you like me to start?
Yeah, give a little background to the story, like when and where, and then go ahead and the floor is yours.
Okie dokie. This took place in the late 60s, just before my son, who is now 56, was born. And I was living in a house built in the 1890s that my grandparents purchased in the 1940s.
Whoa.
And so my grandmother passed away at a fairly young age while they still owned the house. I don't know if she passed away in the house or not. So my very first apartment was upstairs in this house that had been converted into 2 units.
Ah.
I got married, I was pregnant with my son, and I quit work. And in the mornings, before I would get up, I would hear a pounding, a knocking that sounded like it was...
We're losing you there. Do you have me on speakerphone? Because you're breaking up real bad. And I think we lost her.
Hello? Oh, no.
It says we're connected with good signal on my end, but it's just...
Fire Woo Dart, go
Fire Woo
save
Dart.
her.
Go right in the next room, Fire Woo Dart.
He goes on Discord, he goes, 57, I'm 57. A little upset about that.
Well, I'm going to hang up and try to give her a call right back. It was a bad connection.
Okay.
And
the ghost don't want her to say
yeah,
the story.
ghost says, fuck you, you ain't telling the story. No fucking way. All right, let's see if this goes through this time. And let's not have me on speakerphone. That might help.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
try that again. Go ahead.
All right. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. All righty. So I was pregnant. I quit work, and I heard this.
It's the same
It
spot.
did it again, same spot. She starts to describe some pounding, and the thing shuts off. Okay, that's weird. That's creepy. I'm not touching anything on this end. I'm not doing it.
I know.
Okay, we got to try. We're going to have to try Fire Woo Dart's phone. We're going to have to call on his phone. I can't hear anything. It just cut out.
Are they in the same place?
Yeah, he said they were in the next room, didn't he?
Oh, I think so. Okay.
Wow. That's okay. That's twice she tried to tell that story, and she got to the same spot, and her phone shut off.
Yeah. That's
All
a
right.
little creepy.
We're gonna try that again. Let's call. This time. Let's call Firewoo Dart, and let's see if it goes to his phone. Let's try his. See if I think he said he was in the same room. All right. Let's try this one more time. See, clear connection, clear sound, strong signal.
Yes.
Are you in the same room as your mother?
No, we were in separate rooms. I was in the living room with my phone and the TV, and she's down in the family room on the other end of the house, so that we were completely separated, so we didn't have any issues.
I'm telling you, it cut off at the exact same spot she told the story twice.
Yeah.
2 times.
I know. I was watching. I'm sitting here and I'm watching, going, what the hell is she doing?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think it. Let's try on your phone. Can we talk to her on your phone? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll give her my phone, and I'll just go back and watch on the twos of you.
All right.
And so, yeah, hang on.
All right. We'll wait. I'm not going to lose this connection. Because if it does it again.
Alrighty.
All right. And I don't think that ghost
All
wants
right,
you to tell
I'm
that
here.
story. I don't think the ghost wants you to tell it because you get to the same part.
Well, and I break up. Yes. Well, we have issues here at home that I think is my mother, but that's another story.
Oh,
Well, don't
right.
go back in the go back in the basement. Let's not lose your signal. Don't go back in the basement.
Alrighty.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We cut off when I was talking about the knocking between the walls.
Yeah,
Correct?
Yes.
I just wanted to. Yeah, I didn't.
you said
quite-
you were pregnant.
I didn't.
And that you quit work.
and there was a knocking noise, but I
Right.
didn't hear where it was coming from, or if it was
Well,
rhythmic or anything.
I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but I would hear it with one ear, but the minute I lifted my other ear off the pillow, it would stop. So I thought, well, it's probably just the neighbor. But it
Yeah.
happened on a regular basis. So, I wasn't afraid. The house was owned by Gramps. So we moved to the downstairs apartment as we got closer to delivery because it was a larger unit.
Sure.
And same thing was happening. So I was not above anything, the neighbor's garage that had a roof that was level with our backyard.
Ah.
So I thought, well, this is interesting. So I went to the hospital and had the baby. And while I was in the hospital, my husband heard people walking around upstairs and water running. There was no access to the upstairs and nobody living up there.
Wow.
So
Oh.
it scared the stuffing out of him.
Yeah.
He almost left and went to stay with my folks, but decided to stay, turned on all the lights and cranked up the radio and stayed. So then I came home from the hospital and we were lying in bed one night and the bedroom door opened and then it closed. And I thought, okay.
Wait a
Again,
minute.
I was never
wait.
afraid.
Wait a second. Now that's different than a door just closing. It opened and then it closed.
And then it closed.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, but again, I attribute it a lot to the fact that it was an old house. We were living about 2 blocks from the rail yards in the city of Vancouver. So I thought, well, it's probably just the ground shaking a little.
Well,
I
now-
never
now-
attributed it.
Come on. Even in an old house, they didn't have automatic doors. That's not a thing.
True. True. So then we were lying there one night within the same time frame, and all the pictures in the living room fell off the wall and woke us up.
No.
And I thought, okay, that's lovely.
Now, just that room, just the living room.
Just the living room, no
Wow.
place else. Again, remember, this house was built in the 1890s.
Well, sure, but
So-
if one wall is weak and going to drop pictures, they're all going to drop pictures.
Right, right.
All right.
So then, as time went on, we had little things happening. But the important thing was that my husband would get up and go to work and give the baby a bottle. And I would get up in the morning to change him and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And all the kitchen doors were open. And so when he got home, I said, why don't you close the kitchen doors? Now, they had very good latches on them.
Okay.
He said, I didn't leave them open. So then after this happened a few times, we decided, okay, we'll leave the doors open. And sure enough, the doors were closed the next time.
Okay, I got to tell you,
So-
these are very temperamental ghosts. They don't know what they want.
Somebody's trying to get their
You
attention.
close the doors, the ghosts want them open. You leave the doors open, the ghosts want them closed. They're little-
Exactly.
boy, the little, they're finicky, aren't they?
Somebody's
little
a
finicky
little
ghosts.
upset right now.
All right, Mama Dart, continue.
So that's pretty much the extent of it. There is another story that follows many, many years later after my grandson was born. And they're living in a house that my grandfather, who owned the Markle Street, the 1890 house, had lived in. And he, of course, had passed away. And my son and his grandfather enlarged it. And they started having issues there. And my grandson is actually here if you want to know his experiences with that house. And it was like Grandpa Johnson would show up, and he could chime in if he needs to.
Yeah.
Grandpa Johnson would show up at the end of his bed, usually in times when he was somewhat distressed. Now, Grandpa Johnson died long before he was born.
What did he look like when
And-
when he would show up? What I mean,
Well,
like a
you
typical
know,
ghost, like he's bluish and you can see through him, or
No, he looked like just a kind of a dark figure, but very distinctive. He described it, and it was Gramps.
wow.
But that's not the only thing. Grandpa, and he would show up periodically. He would be doing homework in the kitchen after everybody had gone to bed, and he would look up. He'd hear a noise, and he'd look up, and he'd see a dark figure right where the original house that was built for Grandpa before it was enlarged for the kids to live in.
Yeah.
He would see this dark shadow just walk across and out through the wall, right where the house had ended when Grandpa lived there.
Wow.
But that's not all of it. That's not all of it. So Grandpa used to love to watch old Westerns.
Yeah.
And my son had a TV in his room, and he'd be watching TV, and pretty soon the TV would flip to a channel with old Westerns.
No.
And that happened more than once. And then he also had the TV come on and start playing, and the TV was unplugged. So,
No.
you know,
You're kidding.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
you don't pack
you
your
know-
stuff and run at that point.
No,
you
he's
don't.
a family member.
Still that freak me out. I'd be packing my stuff and going, Grandpa, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm out of here.
I'd be asking Grandpa,
He
what
was-
do you need, man? What's
Well, he always showed up at their house when my grandson was maybe having stressful situations at school. He wasn't there all the time, but and then he just kind of stopped coming. So I think everything was fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, can I ask a question? The one that you said before, the previous one,
A little closer.
the story when you were pregnant, did it after your child was born, it just stopped? No more throughout the years living there?
The
The knocking stopped, but the other things took place.
But
I
continued
don't
on the whole...
remember.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember the knocking continuing. It may have done, but we had all these other things happening.
Oh, my goodness.
So-
Now
Okay.
she said her grandson was there and he could chime in and offer a little bit on this. Is that still a possibility?
He could offer some insight on the house in Salmon Creek.
I would
And then,
love
of
to
course,
hear
we've
that.
had a few incidences here in the house that I own that I've been in for 40 years. So, but
Wow.
I'll let you talk to my grandson.
Yeah.
He's right here.
Please do.
So interesting.
Hello.
Hey, grandson, you are the grandson of Mama Dart, I understand.
Yes, sir. How you doing, big guy?
All right, just hanging out, being me. It's the only thing I'm good at anymore. Listen, she said you had something to add, a little something to contribute to this. to
Grandpa
what's going
showing
on.
up.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Fill me in.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me tell you, Firewoo Dart, my dad, he was there for the whole TV incident,
Really?
and I would run out of my room and be like, Dad, quit changing the fucking TV and fucking with me. Quit pointing the remote. Quit pointing the remote at my room or something and changing the channel, because we were all on the same, cable,
Gotcha,
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could have swore, I was like, Dad, you quit fucking with me. This is scaring the shit out of me, dude. And he'd bring the remote in and he'd set it on the bed right next to my remote.
Yeah.
And the TV would just fucking change channels. Sometimes it would change to old Westerns that weren't even on TV.
Wow.
I'd go to the other room, put it on that channel, and that's not what was on, Ion or whatever
Right,
it was, and
I
I was
get
like,
you.
what the hell? But yeah, and then when I don't even remember seeing pictures of great grandpa.
Yeah.
And I described it to my grandmother what I had saw, and it was like, big guy with suspenders, and told him what he was wearing and everything, and she's like, that is your great, and I was like, oh my God, this shit's fucking weird.
Okay, yeah,
Did
but
you ever try to communicate? Did you ever try to
No,
communicate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. The only communicating I did was telling him to give me the fucking remote back,
yeah, that was great. That was a classic. Did you ever try to communicate? No, I'm good. But fair enough, buddy. I'm not.
No, I'll talk to him when I'm dead, but I'm living, and I quit fucking with me, Grandpa.
Well, I've heard stories that people will say, get out, or leave, or even go nice and say, hey, what's going on? What do you need, or something. Some people do.
Mm-hmm. Well, some people, in those situations, they sit up and go, okay, you have my attention.
Yeah,
what do you want? Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he knew he had my attention because he just kept doing it more and more. I think he was fucking with me like I thought it was my dad. But no, my dad told me stories when he was younger about messing with Ouija boards and listening to Dad, what the hell was that song? Rock Me Amadeus. Listening to that song back in the day and messing with the Ouija, and I heard those stories and I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to communicate with nobody from beyond.
Hey, have you ever? How old are you? Can I ask you that? How old are you?
28.
Okay. There's a joke about horror movies and versus white families in a horror movie and black families in a horror movie. Have you heard this joke?
I think I have, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell it to the audience because it's
again.
funny. So you have horror stories, like Amityville Horror and Friday the 13th, and it's always about white families. Because a white family moves into the suburbs, they move into the neighborhoods, and neighbors say, hey, man, your house is haunted. And the man of the house says, well, I don't care. I'm going to stay. And then, things start happening and voices, and there's things moving around and crashing and screaming. And, the dad says, I'm staying. This is my house. I love my family. I love me, and this is how the movie starts. So eventually the white head of the house, the white guy, makes a stand. He goes, I love my house. I love my kids. I love my job. And I love everything about this neighborhood. And the big voice finally comes in and goes, get out. He goes, no, I'm staying, I'm fighting, I'm doing. And that's the premise of the movie. It's a big controversy for 2.5 hours. The reason they don't use a black family is because all the same things happen. And the black father says, I love my house, I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my job, I love this neighborhood. And the big voice says, get out. And the black guy says, too bad we can't stay. We got to go. I don't care how much we love this house. We're leaving, and we're leaving right now because they got common sense. White people are the ones who walk through the house, and there's a ghost, and there's a noise, and there's blood dripping off the walls, and the guy walks up. He goes, "Okay, let's see. I got to go check out this situation. The machete, the gun, the shotgun. Oh, here it is, the flashlight." And so he grabs a flashlight, goes looking for the ghost, and what do they always do? Better walk backwards. Don't want to see it coming. There's just no common sense with white people at all, which is why they have to put white people in those movies because we're stupid. I thought I'd pass that along.
It's so true, too. It's so fucking true.
Those are great ghost stories. Thank you for sharing them. They were awesome.
Yeah.
Love
Hell
it.
yeah. Thank you, guys.
Well, tell Firewoo Dart and Mama Dart, thank you for letting us bend their ear tonight. Creepy how the thing shut off 2 times.
I know.
When she was telling that story.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right.
Yep, the story continues.
Thanks
All right,
again.
You guys take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Can you believe that? First, it starts out where there's, you don't cuts off right at the same spot.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I heard noises. Whoosh, gone. Next time too, well, there's some banging noises. Whoosh, gone. It's like, okay, switch phones, change rooms, and let's try this again. Finally, we get through there.
There was a story my dad told a lot.
Yeah.
Something that happened to him in the house because they lived in that house for so long.
The house on where you grew up?
Yeah, where I grew up.
I got you.
I think he said it was like during, I wasn't born yet, the Kennedy assassination or something like that.
64?
He was watching TV,
Yeah.
but he was standing watching the television, kind of like pass through and stop because they did like a news thing on
Right,
it.
yeah.
And he was the only one up. And he said that the television went to that gray, like where it used to like staticky. Go staticky,
Right.
and at the same time, somebody pulled on the back of his shirt.
What?
Literally, like
What?
pulled where he stumbled backwards.
What?
And he thought it was one of us kids, or my brother or sister. He turned around and nobody was there. He goes, "Okay," he shut it off. He goes, "I went to bed."
Wow.
He doesn't know what that was. He had no idea. So something happened there that he just goes, "I went to bed." That was it.
You know what's fascinating is that, you hear a lot of stories from people, campfire stories, hang on one second. Campfire stories, sitting around a barbecue, doing something like that, and you hear all these stories. Do you know, like, how short your story was? It was, it didn't last very long. Your story was really short, just a couple minutes to the point and done. I'm going to say 99% of the paranormal stories I've ever heard aren't long. They're really short, but they're definite.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, you can tell a long story and there's a lot of stuff to it, and I enjoy those. But just when a dude is standing in his own living room by himself and someone yanks on the back of his shirt, okay, there's no mistaking that. This isn't an accident. I don't care if it's a short story. Well, that was a short story. That didn't really get my motor running. If you were the guy with your shirt being tugged on, it would.
It was a long minute.
It just like, all of a sudden it would be, if you could really understand what that means, that's huge.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
my mom had another one. My mom said this after my grandmother passed away. The house was deep. So it was,
Yeah.
So my mom was at the far end of the thing and she looked up toward the front of the house and she had a rocking chair.
Right.
And she could swear that she saw my grandmother sitting in the rocking chair rocking. And my mom stood there for a minute. It wasn't like it was like a blip. It was like she was rocking. And then my mom said it just kind of like disappeared. But she mentions that happened. So
There's that in our family, in different areas of our family, extended family, there was always stories of rocking chairs. Everyone's sitting in the living room late at night, TV's off. Everyone's just kind of like, I got to get out of this chair and get moving. Having your last cup of water or something before you crash out. Really kind of quiet, and all of a sudden, a chair starts rocking back and forth in the room, and then it stops. Now I know that's a short story. But imagine
But it's an
being in that
incident.
room and all of a sudden a rocking chair just starts going back and forth and then it shuts itself
And
off.
you can't explain it. But my mom saw a figure sitting in the thing that looked like my grandmother.
Wow.
Actually, that was her mother-in-law. So she actually was looking at her mother-in-law. But
All right.
interesting.
Here's I'm going to tell you guys right now that a lot of you have texted in 805-460-5603. If you're listening on kgxtradio.com, that's the number 805-460-5603. And a lot of people talk about they want to get into the government conspiracy and of course conspiracies, and the big one right now is Epstein. So if you want to talk about it, that's fine, and I'll listen to your opinion. A lot of people have texted in just mentioning it, but that doesn't. Did you want me to call you? There's some people in here who say, "Well, there's a topic, but I don't want to just talk about it for the sake of being on the radio and talking." If you have something you want to discuss, I'll play devil's advocate with you. I'll bounce stuff off the wall with you. I'm going to call one of them right now. Okay. And this is someone we know. This is someone who's been around the Gen X Talks family for a long time. This is Nana A. Epstein Files popularity. Government is good at distracting the public. Okay. Let's just start with the Epstein stuff. Let's get it out there right now. A lot of people are asking about it. And none of you have said to call you. You just said talk about it. But we're going to call Nana right now and see if she picks up the phone. Maybe she will. And if she does, we'll get her opinion and we'll see where we're going with this. Because there is things to be said.
Hello.
Nana, is this you?
It is me.
Now, make sure you have my voice turned down in the background. If you're watching me on TV, turn it all the way down. And don't have me on speakerphone. Really hard to hear you when I'm on speakerphone.
Okay, I got you off a speakerphone,
Okay.
and Vern has his phone down.
All right. Yeah, you tell Vern to keep it down over there. Tell Vern.
Vern, keep it down. General said so.
I'm keeping it down.
There we go.
Keep
All right.
it
Now,
down.
I'm not on speakerphone anymore, right, Nanny? You got me off speakerphone?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, you're off speakerphone.
Okay. So now you typed in about Epstein. You dropped a few things about the files and the
Yes.
government. Let's just start
Yeah.
because a lot of people are asking about this. Now, just from a public perception point of view, just a regular member of society, which you are, I want you to tell me what you think about this. You just go ahead and start talking and tell me where you think we are and why.
Well, on the Epstein files, number one, they would have tried to hang him with the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Trump was
That's
involved, right?
my opinion. Yes. But where that they're not releasing anything right now, it puts Epstein files to the forefront. So what is the government trying to hide from us? They have done this with Biden's cancer and his mental decline and everything else. What are they trying to hide from the public by by making this a forefront?
Yeah.
They're pushing it to the front of everything, and everybody wants to know, and everybody wants it right now. So look behind the scenes. What's there?
Yeah, and
What's going on?
that's a good point because throughout history, we can look back and we can see times when the government would let everybody run with a topic. You want to talk about Epstein? Go right ahead. Let that be the topic of the day because there's other things they don't want to answer for. There's other things they don't want you talking about. So if you want to talk about something like this, yeah, throughout history that happens. But I don't know. I couldn't verify what you're saying because obviously I don't know what they're hoping we're not looking at. If you're right, I can't tell.
But they have done it over and over and over with so many different things. During the pandemic, they would bring something up. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, while
Sure.
they're doing something else in the background.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And so I'm just, because Epstein is so far to the forefront, it doesn't matter who's on that daggone list.
Right. Okay.
Because they have it in the forefront. What are they covering
Well,
up, and what are they hiding from us?
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Let me bring up something Trump has repeated over the last few days. Trump has been the one on the news going, "Why are we talking about Epstein? This guy's been
Right.
Why is this a big deal?" So, if your theory is correct, I don't think that the Trump administration are the ones trying to push out the Epstein story to hide something else. Trump's been the one saying, "Why are we still talking about this? There's way more
Exactly.
important stuff." So if you're right, there's somebody else doing something else for some other reason. I don't think it's Trump because he's encouraging everybody to move on.
Right. But politically, they have always pushed for cover-ups.
Right.
And I agree with you that Trump is not the one doing it, but somebody is pushing it to cover something,
Could
in
be.
my opinion.
It could be. And what the naysayers would tell you, Nana, is they would look at you and say, just because you think there's a conspiracy about hiding something, the fact that they're talking about Epstein isn't proof that that something behind the scenes exists. That's not the proof yet. You got to get there. But that's the problem with conspiracies. Everyone says, everyone will tell you, well, the proof that there's a conspiracy is the fact that I can see the conspiracy, even if you don't know what's behind it, which is where you
Right.
are right now. All right. Well, that's fair.
Yes.
I get what you're saying there, Nana. Let me hang up with you. Thank you for your time, sweetheart. Let me move on. If somebody else wants to chime in on Epstein, I will check the phone now, and we'll make yours part 1, and we'll keep talking.
All right. You have a wonderful evening, General.
You too, and thank Vern for being quiet. I know that was hard for him to do. Tell him thank you.
He says, good night, General.
All right. Good night, Vern. Good night, Nana.
Good night.
Good night, Vern. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so I get what Nana's saying. As far as the Epstein, she's on. There's a page that a lot of Americans are on. They're pushing it out there. They're not solving it on purpose. They could solve this one way or the other, and they're not. And a lot of people say they're leaving it stirring everybody up. 1, to cause division, and number 2, you're not going to be talking about other stuff, like the fact that Israel just bombed Syria today. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Epstein. I just don't think it's Trump, because he's the one going, can we not talk about that? Let's talk about how great the stuff I'm doing is. Very self-promotion there, but he's not wrong on that. He's on there. Okay. Let's see what else we get to dome. Graham Gordon, he says he doesn't really have anything, but he could use an exorcist if we know of one. If somebody comes up on there and someone can perform an exorcism, he needs one for his wife occasionally. That's what Graham says.
Don't you guys all say that? Anybody else want to chime in about Epstein? Give their opinion. Give us a call.
Or if you guys are talking in the comment section on Discord, on KGXT Radio and Discord, Gen X Mom is monitoring that, along with the comment section on YouTube. We are simulcasting on YouTube a little bit longer, but not every time. At some point, this goes off of YouTube and is radio only. All right. So, for your dancing and listening pleasure, let me bounce around here. Before we go, I'm going to tell you who I want to call. I'm going to tell you who I want to...
Ghostbusters?
No. Nice pull, though.
That's 2 tonight.
That's 2 tonight. Because we're talking about Epstein, I want to talk to Danny H. Now, Danny H is on staff.
Does he know you're calling him?
Has no idea. He may not even answer. But if he does, Danny H has some... We can go back and forth. And he's got an interesting take on it also. And I think he'd pick up right where Nana left off as far as conspiracies go. What's going on and why it's upsetting. Let me try to call Danny. He may not answer, but let me give him a shout. Let's see. Danny H. on staff at Gen X Talks.
I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
God damn it. That's why I kept blocking his number. Danny H., we talk a little bit about Epstein, just a touch on there, but Nana A came at it from one specific thing, that they're pushing it, they're leaving it out there because they don't want us seeing something else. Now, of course, we don't know what the something else is, but she's not wrong. From years of experience, that's a possibility. It really is.
Sure.
So what do you take on that? Give me your rundown. I'll let you have the floor. You and I have talked a little bit about this, but let me give you the floor completely. Give me a rundown on what the problems are going on as you see it, just from a regular jabroni out there in the world like me. What do you got, Danny?
The biggest thing that I see being an issue is because Bondi and Bongino and Kash Patel and Trump himself were espousing that very talking point so
Danny,
much
do you got me on?
on.
Danny, do you got me on speakerphone? It's kind of hard to hear you. You're breaking up.
Negative, sir. I do not have you on speakerphone.
Oh, you just maybe in a bad spot. It's just a bad spot.
Yeah,
there.
give me just a moment and let me see if I can rectify that situation.
See if your wife will let you out of the basement. Knock on the door and ask permission to come up the stairs.
I mean, that's pretty much exactly what just happened.
There we go. You see? All right.
How is that? Is that any better?
That sounds better. So go ahead and tell us one more time.
Okay, good deal. So the biggest reason everyone's still harping about it and up in arms about it is because for the first part of Trump's presidency so far, Trump, Bondi, Bongino, and Kash Patel have all used the Epstein files and list as a talking point to the media up until the last 2 or 3 weeks, roughly, give or take. I think the biggest concern is not actually American citizens don't necessarily want to know whose name is on the list or or who was seen in the tens of thousands of videos and all this and all that was recovered.
Right.
They just want justice done. We don't need to know about the victims. The victims have been victimized enough. Let them people try to move on with their lives.
Right.
But out of all of the video content, all of the still photos that were claimed to have been discovered,
Right.
with technology being what it is, I refuse to believe that they can't identify one of the predators in those pictures or in those videos. We know it wasn't just...
Now, hold on. I don't think they have to use technology. I think the way it sounds, these people were very open about having their picture taken and stuff. Maybe some were in secret. I got you. But there's...
Right.
I don't think you got to use pixelation software. I think these people were happy to be filmed and pictured, hey, look what I'm doing. I don't think they cared at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. I agree with that point. That's a very valid one. But at the same time, I understand the game of leverage, and maybe we don't say what we're doing right now until we accomplish the overall goal. I get that. But if you mishandle this situation or continue to mishandle this situation like it's going right now,
yeah,
midterms are going to be a bitch.
Well, here's the deal. I know Trump's listening. He always tunes into the programs with Gen X Talk. So, Mr. President, since you're dialed in here, let me give you some advice. This is just nuts and bolts street level, but I think I have an answer for you. I think you come out to the press tomorrow morning and go, look, I'm not giving you a list of names. I'm not giving you the victims. I'm not giving you the pedophiles. I'm not giving you the clients or the customers. I don't care what you guys think you know about flight logs. None of that matters. Epstein's dead. I'm burying all that from you guys. Just stay out of it. What I am going to do is I'm instructing Pam Bondi to go after every person in these 10,000 files that we know committed an act against a child. If we got proof that you did it, we're coming after you. Now, if your name gets exposed during the course of an investigation, during the course of a court battle, then tough shit. Your name's going to get exposed. But I'm not going to go out there and just publicly give out names. I'm going to tell her, if you got 309 people that have committed crimes against children, go after them. Now, you keep it as quiet as you can. It's not public information. We can wait on that. But you go after them, and if the names come out, if the court transcripts are out, and I got it, that's what'll happen. But I'm not going to just go out there and put it on a poster and show everybody. And I know I told you I was going to I think Trump should say this. I know I told you during the campaign I was going to do it. Guess what? I changed my mind. I'm not doing it. But I am going to make sure that we go after every single person that harmed a child. And if the names come out, the names come out. But that's how I would handle it. But nobody from 16.
And see,
nobody called me.
I get it. And you know what? I don't see a problem with it being handled that way. But currently it's being mishandled by it's almost a play on the no news is good news, except no news is bad news in this sense.
Right. Well,
make a definitive statement, take a stand, make a definitive statement, and then as time rolls on, let it play out as it will. I get not releasing the actual names to the public because that's inviting vigilante justice.
Sure.
And that's not going to solve, as good as it might feel at the time, in the long run, that's not going to solve anything.
No. But now let's back up. Let's take the train of thought you and I are on, because we kind of agree here. Now, apply this situation with what we know. Like, say, Dan Bongino got angry with Pam Bondi and left the room, but we don't know why. But what we can assume is whatever course of action she was taking, he was not happy with it. Would you not agree?
I would agree. And I would say that Bongino has got a good enough record currently that I would say he's a man of pretty decent honor, pretty good morals. So if he didn't agree with it, there had to be something, bad.
All right. So we can both agree that he was not happy with the way she was handling it. Now, if she was handling it the way I said, hey, we're not going to release the names, but we are prosecuting every single person. There's enough evidence here. We're going to go after people. I would think Dan would have been okay with that. Now, I don't know Dan. I've never met Dan Bongino, but I would assume he would have been like, okay, Not exactly what we told the American people, but if you're going to go after these people, the names will come out eventually. You're going to prosecute them. We're going to go get them. Yes, I'm on board with that. Now, that tells me she's not planning on prosecuting these people. I mean, I'm just guessing, because even if she pulled all the way back and said, no list, no client list, I'm not showing you guys shit, but I am going to go after each one of these people and they're going to jail. I think Dan would have been okay with that. And if he's not okay, I don't think she was even willing to go that far. That's totally speculative, but you would think Dan would have been okay. He would have come out and said, well, I'm not happy that we're not following through with our campaign promises, but hey, justice will be served. I can live with that. Whatever he came out of that room thinking, he was saying, I can't live with this. So I don't think Pam even offered that.
Absolutely. And I mean, the whole statement that Trump released where he said, I'm ordering Bondi to release whatever information she deems as credible, that's pretty ambiguous. I mean, if that's not a let me pass the buck statement on down the line, I don't know what is. And I voted for Trump. I mean, I voted for the guy. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
All right.
But I will admit, this is a scenario where he's kind of letting me down a little bit.
All right. Well, Danny, we'll move on from there, but thank you for taking the call and putting in your 2 cents there, buddy. I appreciate it.
Outstanding, boss man. You guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So there you go. We did uncover a little bit there, because in the course of working that out, I think if Pam Bondi had said, don't worry, I'm going after these people, Dan probably would have said, okay, that sucks, but I'm with you. But whatever she didn't offer him, he's still mad about. But see, that's what America's still mad about. There's a lot of people willing to die on that hill going, dude, somebody has to get prosecuted for harming these children. Go ahead.
Oh, I just have a question. These kids that they're saying that were put into this situation, they've got to be a little bit older now than that situation.
Sure.
Why aren't we hearing anything from them? Why aren't they coming out doing like a civil suit against some of these people? What's
I don't know.
stopping
Now,
them?
see, I would say they had in the beginning of all this years ago, they had names. I mean, probably, I remember 13 or 14, they had girls' names and they were talking and getting statements and doing stuff. And the girls were naming names and showing pictures and saying, yes, that guy. And they would show them pictures. Because in the beginning, there was some stuff going, holy shit, I know some of these people. I mean, like, you know them at a distance. I don't know them personally. But you're right. That all kind of went away. And none of them have filed civil lawsuits against it. Now, these guys got to be rich.
And if it's not against, and if they can't do it, why aren't the parents coming to their child's?
Yeah. Because they could say you were underage at that time. But remember, some of these, here's what a guy told me. Half of these girls were from around the world. They do not fall under United States law.
Oh, well.
But the ones that do you think the parents knew? Do you think the parents...
You're telling me they went to a secluded island, their child, underage, and the parents didn't know?
No, that's what I'm saying, is that I think how many times you think the parents... Why is there no civil suit? Maybe the parents knew.
So they were okay with it?
Well, not if it was a 13-year-old, but there's some parents who might be able to say, I don't mind what's going on. My daughter's 17. I mean... The parents, there's some fucked up people in the world.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
It just seems like it wasn't like 2 or 3 children involved. It seems to be like there was multiple.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So
hundreds.
I can't imagine if it was like 2 or 3. I could see them being quiet, but I can't.
Hundreds.
I'm just having a hard time with that issue. I wanted to tell you over on YouTube, lots of them are telling, or noting that there's so many. International people involved, and so they don't want to release that list. So, but could there be now? Speaking of that, I have a question. Yeah. Speaking of that, if there are international people, they don't fall under U.S. law, right? Could they?
No.
I mean,
no, not at all. No.
Can they block the list from coming out?
No, they can't stop it, but they can't. They're also not going to be affected by it as far as prosecution goes.
That's what I want to know. Okay.
Now, like you just said. Could this affect and tie up rich international people? Now remember, Bill O'Reilly was just on Chris Cuomo's show the other day, and Bill said he talked to Trump I'm just quoting what he said in the message. He said, I was at an event. It was just we were all standing around, and Trump and I were talking, and the Epstein thing came up, and Trump very casually said, "There's a lot of names on that list." I'm sorry, not the list. There's a lot of names in the documents, 10,000 documents or more. He goes, Trump said, there's names inside those documents that have nothing to do with sex, with trafficking,
Right.
with underage kids. There's just someone who had a meeting with Epstein about something unrelated.
Right.
Okay.
I get it.
So let's say there's 300 pedophiles in there that need to be, prosecuted. But there's 60 guys that have nothing to do with the sex that just knew Epstein
Right.
or had lunch with the guy, or they were kind of casual acquaintances, or they were in business in some
Then
fashion.
they don't have anything to worry about.
But the press, this is what Trump said.
Oh, yeah, well,
Trump said to Bill, he goes, listen, Bill, the media is not going to care. The media is not going to be honorable and say, now, to be fair, there's 65 names in here that don't have to do with anything with sex. Let's keep them separate. Let's not talk about them. No, the CNNs and MSNBC, they're going to get on there and go, well, we don't know how deep the ties go. We just know that their name is in the report. When it's been clearly told and proven that these guys maybe had nothing to do with anything, the press isn't going to care. So you're going to have people that lose their marriages. You're going to have people that lose their businesses. You're going to have all sorts of things affected because the press will not do the right thing, even if they showed them and said, look here, these people have nothing to do with it at all. They're still going to go, well, as far as you know.
I know, but the press has lost their credibility a ton. I think a lot of people out there are like calling bullshit on a lot of stuff they did. But I get where you're coming from. I get it.
If it was up to me, I'd be, if my name was in the Epstein files for having nothing to do with anything but just casual stuff, I would still be worried that my name's going to get dragged through the mud and I'm going to lose all credibility myself. I'd be worried about that.
I got it. Okay, well, let's move on. Do
All
you have
right.
anything else?
Yeah, hang on. Let's bounce around the table here. Let's see what else we got. Good conversations with Nana. Good conversation with Danny H to kind of bring that around and get us in a good spot there. Think we covered some stuff. All right. Da-da-dum. Scrolling. Da-da-da-dum. There was some stuff in here. Let me back up. Graham Gordon just chimed in. He goes, Trudeau is on the list. Is a name that's being blackmailed. Graham Gordon is from Canada. He's a pretty smart dude. I don't think he would throw stuff out there, willy-nilly, as they say back in the day. I think Graham would say that's probably like a common knowledge thing up there in Canada. He's probably speaking from the heart. And it's real easy to check blackmail stuff. Payments going in, to keep quiet. Not hard to check there. Okay. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-dum-dum. Good evening, handsome general and beautiful Mama X. I might have something for you. It ties into Johnny O's story from New Jersey and Jason Miller, the Dirty Wrench. Call me if you want to talk about a UFO. All right, let's see if we can. I'm just another dumb retired mechanic in the middle of but a different desert. Let's call Jason right now and see if he's got a UFO story from us. We'll change gears a little bit here. See what Jason's got to say. Remember to keep your phone or keep your stuff down and don't put me on speaker.
Hello?
Hey, Jason, it's the General with Gen X Talks. You're on Off the Record. Can I put your voice on the air?
Gosh, yes.
You had to think about that. Did you flip a coin?
Well, but no, I had no idea.
Well,
I took a chance. I rolled the dice. I'm not a Vegas guy, and here we are.
And here we are. No, yeah, you rolled lucky 7. Jason, you said you had a UFO story. Give us a little background on the time, the place, and the conditions. And the floor is yours, my man. Go ahead and give us a rundown.
Okay, so about a week ago, your first 2 calls, one of them was Johnny O from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I knew Johnny O from New Jersey, and he was talking about Garden State Parkway, Driscoll Bridge, both of which I'm very familiar with. And I want to say it was 2012, but I'd be lying because I can't be sure. But I remember it making the news.
All right.
I was home on leave after taking an overseas assignment. I was twice met with something similar, not identical, not during the day. he said his was during the day.
Right.
I'm driving up the Garden State Parkway on 2 separate occasions, and I saw red and orange orbs just kind of moving around my car.
Whoa!
believe it or not-
Wait a minute. You're not talking about 500 feet in the air. You're talking about down low where you can see them.
Street level. I
Whoa.
mean, like right alongside me.
Okay.
I don't even like lend a lot of credence to this stuff. I'm like, I try not to believe in it because it weirds me out. Anyway,
Right.
on 2 separate occasions, I'm traveling, and each occasion, gosh darn it, if it wasn't the same place, Garden State Parkway North, in a town called Homedale, right alongside what used to be the Garden State Art Center. Now it's the PNC Bank Art Center,
Right.
where they would host concerts and live events. And
Sure.
okay,
I gotcha.
two separate occasions, one of which you might find this hard to believe, but I'm designated driver. I stayed sober for this shit. So on each of the 2 occasions, I dropped off all my passengers except one. And the second time was my cousin's in the passenger seat, and he's sauced. It's like, I'm like, wait a minute. What am I looking at? I'm not sure I understand what I'm looking at. I'm seeing red and orange orbs. And when I say orbs, I'm talking about maybe, if I have to give them size or dimension,
Yeah.
somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in diameter.
Oh, so you're not
I'm like,
talking basketball or bowling ball size. These things were significant in size.
Yeah, again, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely bigger than a basketball or bowling ball. But I'm so stupid. I'm trying to ignore it. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to get from the Jersey Shore, to drop off my cousin and get myself home. I don't want to be bothered with this shit. But it just, it just so happened each of these occurrences were about somewhere between 6 to 8 miles south of where Johnny O said he encountered his
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So it ended almost as abruptly as it started. Like, they kind of left me alone. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to get my cousin and myself home. I don't want to be bothered with this. But leave me alone. We're talking about between 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And my father had a similar occurrence decades prior. I'll be brief because I don't know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
My mother blames it on him being under the influence. He rolled the car. He rolled a 1972. Okay, so he said he encountered something similar, and whatever it was forced him off the road. None of this stuff forced me off the road, but he said it forced him off the road. If I remember the hill he's describing, it's probably a near 40 to 45 degree angle. Forced him off the road, and the car rolled back on near the highway.
Yeah.
But was totaled. He was alone.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure it's a coincidence that Johnny O.
No, they're all in the
me
same
and
area.
my dad were met with something not identical. Again, not identical, similar. Johnny
Right.
O was
Yeah.
met with, and I remember Johnny O's experience. And again, I might be messing up the year, but I want to say it was 2012. I remember it making the news.
Yeah.
Him
Wow.
not being the only one talking about, he saw that triangular shape in the sky,
Sure.
but he
Well,
couldn't
see,
give it depth
here's the
or
deal on that.
dimension.
Jason, here's the gig, man, is that these things, your dad's story, your story, and Johnny O's, are almost all in the same place. They're in the same area. They're within miles of each other. You know, I wonder if someone did some deep digging, if that's like a hotbed for that type of stuff. You know, I wonder if there's stories in there of the same type of things happening just in that one, maybe in that one stretch. That's odd, man. It's really odd that you picked up on Johnny O's story and you're like, holy shit, that happened to me. And you know what I mean? That's bizarre, man. It really is.
Well, long-time listener, long-time watcher, been paying attention to a lot of the work y'all are doing. Gabby and I are very grateful. We are.
Oh,
Appreciate
I
thank
just
you.
thought it was worth. Yeah. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah,
Love
no,
you
Yeah,
guys.
forget
forget
about it.
about it. All right, hey, Jason, not forget about it, man. That was awesome. I appreciate
Yes.
you listening. Appreciate you following along, and thank you for contributing tonight and being willing to pick up the phone and be on with us. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, my man.
Thanks for calling.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
catch on
Jason.
the
Love you
flip
guys. Have a
side.
good night.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Okay, so now you're talking about, now we have two verified extras from Gen X Talks, don't even know each other, having similar stories in the same place.
Interesting.
And I think the two best things about that was when Jason's like, man, I'm just trying to fucking get home, all right? I'm from New Jersey. I don't have time for this fucking bullshit. You want to spin around someone's car, grab the guy behind me, okay? He's got a Cadillac, all right? I'm driving a Ford Granada. Leave me the fuck alone.
I just want to get
I
home.
just want to get home, all right? I'm fucking tired. It's the middle of the night. I'm designated driver. I'm driving all the. Everybody else had a good time. Why are you fucking with me? That's one.
Oh, that's so fun. All right.
Well, we did an hour. It's already gone. We got so much more to do, but those are interesting stuff. I think the stories are going to get even better as we go along. And remember, you guys, if you know somebody, they don't even have to be following Gen X Talks. They don't got to be a fan. But if you know somebody, prep them. Say, hey, listen, these guys like to call you, put you on the radio, listen around a little bit. Would you mind? Then if you get their permission, give me the phone number. I'll give them a call, introduce myself, let them tell their story. Don't be afraid. If you guys know people that know people that know people, come on, man. Let's get some good stories going on here. We got some time. It's only the third show. We're just getting traction, just getting our feet
The
wet.
more stories, the longer we'll stay
That's
on.
right. We'll keep going. Listen, we got to get out of here, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Gen X Mom, say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you guys for listening in. Not sure where you're chiming in from, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things in life. Number one, wherever you go, there you are. And number two, I'll catch you guys in the